to make some noise. Region 3, make some noise. Young people, make some noise. Make noise, make noise.
As a result. Oh! So the APNU has comprised a list of young candidates to be part of these elections. And Region 3 right now, I want you to make noise as we welcome the first speaker for tonight's proceedings. One of your very own. Make some noise for Michael Richmond!
They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown. Leave the vibes and I stood in my ground.
And for the first time in 26 years that I am alive, let's take out the 5 that the PPPC reigned for from 2020. So for 18 years, this is the first time, Vreed, that I have seen or heard or witnessed a manifesto that is centered around the people of Guyana. This is not no manifesto that's stressing on investing billions here and smuggling there. This is a manifesto that is stressed on improving the cost of living of all Guyanese. This is a manifesto that is stressed around providing accountability. A manifesto that is stressed with the people of Guyana holding the government of Guyana accountable. This is a manifesto, Vreed. For the first time, this is a manifesto that I've seen, heard, and listened to that prioritizes one of Guyana's biggest problems we had in 5 years: the security of our children. But before I continue, I want you guys to remember something. A former AFC member stood on the PPP platform last week. And the brother made some very disgusting remarks. And yesterday, Vreed, and this is why I have my leader, Aubrey Norton. Not because I make a mistake, he would ostracize me and show it in my face. I've seen Minister Vinya Prasad said Mr. Leno Craig, a former AFC member. But there's a man that just a few weeks or days ago pledged loyalty to the People Progressive Party. So Vreed, I say this to say, they want to leave the free. I feel so good that we did A at Vreed, because the good thing about Vreed is that we in the far from Tushin. And many know what happened in Tushin some months ago. Many know that we ain't received justice yet. So Vreed, for Guyana to grow. I said this some nights ago in Parfit, and I'll say it here again, Vreed. For the commencement of the People Progressive Party reign in government from 2020, the dark days resurfaced. We witnessed the death of the Henry boys, and we witnessed the death of Ari Singh. We witnessed the helicopter that went down in the interior roughly 2 years ago, and we never one day heard what happened. We witnessed the police officers, and believe me, I know they and police women went to work with joy, because you know why? They may have to go and ask a bribe. They were properly compensated. And I must commend this manifesto again, because this manifesto is addressing a better life for our men and women in uniform. We ain't got to go and kick down we brothers and sisters' door to get a house or forget a link, forget a land. This manifesto today, Vreed, it spoke, or it speak, or however you want to call it. It mentioned that our police officers, they will be entitled for the rent to own projects too as well. I want to talk to the youths as well, Vreed, because it seems to me as though the People Progressive Party civic is attacking our youths. So I want to say to our youths, I don't think we, the youths, should be caught in the middle of this chess game between the PPP and the Win Party. Because let me tell you something. We want to be pawns in this chess game. When it's a pawn, you don't end up on the good. So I say to you, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to stand up. Because in our constitution, it tells us that we got to get contract. A contract is not something you got to wear a red jersey or a blue jersey or even a green jersey for. And that is why, again, I admire the vision of our leader, RBC Compton Norton. Because we not just get contract, or we not give contract to the youths alone to build roads, but there are other stuff that needs to be done. Rehabilitation of our communities. Sanitation of our communities. And again, I love the fact, because from 2015 to 2020, this specific region was a beautiful region. Lots of lights in our communities. But now again, I reiterate, the dark days has arrived. Region 3, this week, this specific week, again, we've seen how corrupt this government is. And it is sad to say, Vreed, it is really sad to say, the corruption doesn't run from the sun, or the corruption run into mommy too. The people of Guyana is suffering the worst growing economy, and over 40% of our people remains below the poverty line. But yet still, we got the president mother collecting $35 million kickback. Allegedly. The next thing we'll find him of Vreed is that some of our public servants are only getting $1.2 million per year. If everything goes well, it's 1.4 to 1.6. But we got people in Guyana so corrupt that them man telling me that 40 and 60 million is scrum change. But I say to you, Vreed, for Guyana to grow, and come September the 2nd, when our esteemed, our impeccable, and our clean-slated leader, RBC Compton Norton, take over office, we, Guyana, we are going to have an accountable nation. And lastly, before I leave, I want to say again the reason why I love RBC Compton Norton. Our leader is not just giving opportunities to Region 3, Region 4, Region 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But the same opportunities, Guyana, that we are going to be receiving here in Region 3 is the same opportunities that we are going to take to Barbies. We are not going to victimize any Guyanese when we assume office come September the 2nd. We don't care if you wear a red jersey or not, because we understand, Vreed, we understand the circumstances in which you are allowed or forced to wear a red jersey. We're not going to pull the race card, or we're not going to victimize nobody. This Guyana that we are building is not no one Guyana. It is a Guyana that have 6 different people. So Vreed, I must reiterate, for Guyana to grow, the PPP must grow. Thank you.
Some noise for Michael. You know, when the presidential candidate of the APNU speak about putting people first. He placed specific emphasis on placing youth first. So you just heard Michael. Vreed and Hoop, make some noise as we welcome young, vibrant Seline David.
This one goes out to all my women, you know, my strong women. So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman.
Region 3, good evening. Let me hear you make some noise if you're ready for real change. My brothers and sisters, young people, hardworking family of this village, I want to thank you for being here today because your presence tells me something powerful. It tells me that you believe, just like we believe, that Vreed and Hoop deserve better. Today is not just a rally, it is a moment in history. A moment that we declare that the people of Guyana will not be ignored, will not be silenced, and will not be left behind. We are gathered here under the proud banner of a partnership for national unity, the APNU. The APNU is more than a political party. It is a movement of unity, fairness, and equal opportunity for all Guyanese, no matter your race, religion, and background. From rice field to fishing villages, from bustling market stall to the quiet interland communities, APNU stands with the people. We believe that leadership is about service and not self-interest. We believe that the government must listen to the people, work for the people, and deliver to the people. And leading this movement is a team unlike any other in Guyana's history, a team that reflects the true face of our nation. And at the helm of this movement stands our presidential candidate, Mr. Aubrey Norton. A man who spends his life fighting for justice, equality, and the rights of ordinary citizens. Mr. Norton is not a leader born from privilege. He knows what it feels like to face hardship, and he knows what it takes to overcome it. As president, Mr. Norton will bring back dignity to leadership, ensuring that the oil wealth of this country benefits every Guyanese and not the friends, family, and favorite. He is tough when it comes to injustice, yet compassionate when it comes to the needs of the people. That is the kind of president Guyana needs right now. And that is why I stand with the APNU and I, Seline David, endorse Aubrey Norton as the next president. Standing beside him is a woman who's making history, the first indigenous prime ministerial candidate, Ms. Jaretta Fanat. Our story is a story of every young girl who dreamed big despite humble beginnings. She has walked the muddy roads of the interland village. She has listened to the struggles of farmers and teachers, and she has carried the voice of the people all the way to the national stage. Jaretta is a living proof that APNU does not just talk about inclusion. We practice it. She represents progress, equality, and the breaking of barriers for women, indigenous communities, and all the unrepresented voices in Guyana. And completing this leadership team is the son of Region 3, Mr. Ganesh Maipal, our Vice President. Ganesh knows your struggles because they are his struggles. He is not a politician who sits in an office. He is a leader who walks in the streets with the people. Imagine the new open the Kendrin Hospital barely have enough staff. One senior nurse complained about having to work across multiple departments. Imagine that. Over the past 2 years, my grandmother has been waiting for a day to undergo heart surgery at the Georgetown Public Hospital. 2 years of pain, 2 years of uncertainty, 2 years of watching her health fade while the system turns a blind eye. Is this what we call progress? Is this the future we want to accept? Is this the pain we expect to endure for the next 5 years? That is why I stand with the APNU, because we cannot afford 5 years of being neglected. Under an APNU government, we will not be forgotten. We will bring back healthcare system that works to the people, where our elderlies can get urgent treatment without waiting for years, where no family has to watch their loved ones suffer because of the government neglect. This is your chance to stand up and say, we want better. We are tired of broken promises. We are tired of watching our youths leave because there are no jobs. We are tired of a system where only the connected prosper while the rest struggle to survive. To the young people here today, you are the heartbeat of this movement. We see you, we believe you, and we will fight for your future. Under the APNU, every student, whether secondary, UG, technical institute, will receive a monthly stipend of $50,000. Child care allowance for each child up to 16 years of at least $120,000 a year in 2 installments in June and December, whether their parents are in a tax system or not. And our elderly, they deserve dignity, not to be lining up for hours to get a small pension. Under the APNU, we will increase old age pension to $100,000 a month. But that's not all. We know the cost of living is hard. We know that owning a home feels like a faraway dream for many of you. But APNU is bringing that dream closer with our rent-to-own rent housing program. Imagine paying rent every month and getting nothing back. But under the APNU, you'll be paying towards owning your own home. This is what transformation look like. This is what voting for the APNU will deliver. My comrades, close your eyes for a moment and picture a Guyana where every youth has the tool to succeed. Every parent can provide for the children without a fear of poverty. Leaders walk hand in hand with the people and not above them. This is not just a dream. This is the Guyana APNU is building, with Aubrey Norton as president, Director of Finance as prime minister, and Ganesh Maipal as vice president. I say to you tonight, I know the struggles because I have lived it. I know the pain of trying to build a better life when the odds are against you. But I also know the power of change. And I know that under APNU, we can build a future where our children do not inherit the same struggles we have endured. So on election day, we are not just choosing leaders. We are choosing the future for our children. We are choosing whether Guyana remains stuck in the past or move boldly into the future of fairness, prosperity, and unity. Region 3, this is your time. Our time to rise above struggle. Our time to turn our pain into power. Our time to take back our future. Enough is enough. Let me hear you say it. Let us vote for change. Let us march forward to victory on September 1st and vote for the palm. This election is we on. Thank you.
Yeah, he said them come now. Flash cash. Big smile, but we know the game. If we no time back, them a walk in with the money bag. Try buy love like a brand new jag. Tell you smile for the camera flash, but after the vote you're gone in a trash.
Thank you, Seline. You know, Region 3, if I had started the pre-rally, I would have got my flag and be up here, you know. But I brought my son out. So, you know what I like to gotta do again? You know what I gotta do, Region 3? So he does the pre-rally. He's one of the young candidates like Seline, like Michael, 27 years old. In the next couple of weeks, we will be introducing him as an attorney at law. Make some noise as I bring back to the podium. Make some noise for my son. 27 years old, attorney at law, Eden Corbin.
Welcome. Why? Hey. Tonics, left and right. That's how we just a come. Left and right. Ooh, yeah. Bro. And them say, here comes trouble, here comes the danger, sent by the Savior. Welcome.
Vreed and hoop! I said breathe and hoop! If you know that on September 1st, we are going to elect Aubrey Norton as the next president, make some noise! Hold on. I got to set my timer. They tell me others go too long, so we want to keep it short and nice. You understand? Just like how the PPP Forester, I'm going to be short and nice. Say yeah. Vreed and hoop. Guyana, APNU. We are here because elections is serious. Because elections is serious. It is serious business, so we can't play with we vote. Yes, they are giving you money to go to the rallies. Yes, they are giving you money to put on a shirt, but there is no amount of money that they can give you for you to give them their vote. Say yeah. I stand before you here today not just as a candidate, but as a humble son of the soil. As a young man who has watched and have observed and have educated myself, so I know a couple things. Say yeah. And the one thing that I know and they cannot take it from me, is that if we want Guyana to grow, comrades, throughout this entire election season, they have been throwing smoke screen in our faces. You got a call, didn't you? Asking you, who are you going to vote for? Tell them that it is none of the business. The only business that they must be concerned about come September 1st is which building they are going to call the office of the opposition, because we had enough. Make some noise. Comrades, the Guyana that we are living in, they are calling it one Guyana. I call it one-sided, because the Guyana that they claim is one Guyana is the Guyana where we have to live from hand to mouth, where we are living from paycheck to paycheck. We can't survive on the salary anymore. Comrades, tell me, what will a 100,000 cash grant do when things tight? As Lola Dahl say, it pinching cause it tight. But we have come to tell you that we are going to make life better for you. We are going to raise the minimum wage for public servants to 200,000. We are going to raise the tax threshold to 400,000. We are going to give university and tertiary students $50,000 per month. Say yeah. Comrades, the government, any government, is supposed to take care of you. So the government cannot build a road and then come to you, throw a party for themselves and say, you got to vote for we. Who else going to build the road? Who else is going to take care of our societies? West Bank in April, you all remember what happened right up the road? Her name was Adriana Young. 11 years old. She has not even reached to the point where she knows what she wants out of life, and they snuffed it out. That is the modus operandi of the PPP. And we have had enough of it. And we cannot continue to allow them to fool us. We are offering you strong, solid government without fraud, without corruption. Look at our leader. They have tried and they have failed. They say that how he alone. But look at you out here. They say that all the people leave the party. They say they don't have any youths, but look at me, a young flumsing and bouncing and at the right age. And come September 1st, we're gonna be right here too. But comrades, let us settle. The race ain't done yet. We got to be vigilant. Somebody turn to your neighbor and say vigilant. We got to watch. We got to observe. Because your support is just part of the formula. We got to see it through. So when we go to the polling station, tell the polling agents, we watching you. No funny business. They talk about crowds and crowds. They say we ain't pulling crowds. Tell them, how are we going to pull crowds when the public servants are being victimized? You come to the rally. You come to the rally and you put on your green shirt, and by the time you reach back to work on Monday, you get a letter, you're getting transferred. You come to the rally and put on your shirt, and all of a sudden, You come to the rally, you put on your shirt, and all of a sudden, there is not a promotion. That cannot be a government that is for you. But you see our tagline, we are putting people. Vreed and hoop. Vreed and hoop. Let us not play with our vote, because elections is what? It is serious business. And come September 1st, we are going to remind the PPP, we are going to remind Guyana why we are called a partnership for national unity. Make some noise for that. Comrades, throughout this election season, I've heard a lot of things. But one of the things that has struck me is that a former affiliate of the PPP could sit down and say 40 million to 50 million. He must be living in the one Guyana and we must be living in the two. Because you and I know we got to work like dog to make the 40 million and 50 million, while people are spending billions of Guyana dollars and we can't see a cent yet. So when they come and they give you the promises, you hear what their tagline is? Their tagline is promises kept and dreams realized. But what's a promise? What's a promise? And a dream is something that you got to sleep in to get. Tell the PPP that we wake up. We wake up. Because when we go to the market with $10,000, we can't even get a loaf of bread with that. We could barely get one string of boro. And they are living lavishly, traveling on planes, spending millions of taxpayers' dollars. They brought a diplomat into our country. Say my country. They brought a diplomat into our country, my country, your country. And he had to drive on our roads that we got to drive on every day. He had to drive on it one day. And let me say that that's not bad enough. They shut down half a Georgetown just to accommodate this diplomat. And he had the audacity, he had the testicular fortitude to stand in front of you and stand in front of me and call we roads concussion roads. Something must be really wrong with we. Because we got to travel on the concussion road every day and are frightened to go to the pharmacy or the hospital because it's a set of expired drugs they got in there. So to my young people, wise up. Wake up. One of them stand on a stage and he said some things that I will not even repeat. And one of the same senior PPP call him a former AFC member. Says shame. Shame. Because how can that man be on your national list of candidates and you as a senior high-level PPP member disassociating yourself with him? Says shame, man. Shame. These people have shamed out all their shame. And come September 1st, say we don't want them no more. Because if we want our Guyana to grow, if we want Vreed and Hoop to grow, if we want the West Side to grow, if you want your family and your homes to grow, that is the message. So comrades, don't be fooled. They calling people scrape and scrape, but they know that it's scrape. We got to scrape to make ends meet. Under a government led by Aubrey Norton, you will have a livable income. We are putting the money back into your pockets. And it is not stopping with cash grants. We are going to deliver more jobs. We are going to deliver better infrastructure. Because if you didn't know, The Heroes Highway was a birthed idea on the APNU. The new bridge that they can't finish yet was an idea that was birthed on the where? But that is all they know to do. They know to fool us. Let me tell you something, comrades. They are spending billions of dollars on social media. So don't get worried by the likes and the clicks and the follows. Even the next bald head man, I'm not going to call his name, but you know his name. He could go and do a press conference on Thursday too. But we don't have to beat them on the social media because our support is right here. You Vreed and Hoop, you aside, and with your help, with your vote, come September 1st, you have to wake up your auntie, wake up your uncle, your nosy neighbor, your front-end cousin, your ungrateful relatives, the people man, the people woman, and bring them out to the polling stations. Comrades, in closing, I'm leaving now. But I just have one thing to say. A certain attorney who thief couple books that belong to the government stand up and say that how all we talk about at we rallies is extrajudicial killings. So you tell that certain attorney, I want to know why. Because it happened under you. Because when the PPP takes control, we got to hide we by children. We got to get off of the road by 6 o'clock. Because tell me, West Side, how can we be protesting the life of one of our young, brilliant minds, Adriana Young, and you have the temerity to charge people, children, with terrorism? Somebody say shame. And I see after the big interview with Travis dropped the other day, they had press release like nothing, man. Everybody releasing. But you Guyanese know where there is smoke. Where there is smoke. So tell the one who does ramble at Freedom House every Thursday that you can't fool me, because once we see smoke, we know that they got. But you know who got the real fire? It is you, comrades. So when you go to the polling stations, I want to leave this last thing with you. The song says, he got the whole world. Put up your palms. He got the whole world where? Chris, make sure you get the picture of this. He got the whole world where? In his cup? No. By the Jaguar? By the wheel? Where he got the whole world? And that is where you got to put your foot. Because if we want Guyana to grow, if we want Guyana to grow, thank you, comrades.
He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 Come on now. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got the wind and the rain in his hand. He's got the wind and the rain in his hands. He's got the wind and the rain in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole wide world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the tiny little baby. In his hand, he's got the tiny little baby. In his hand, he's got the tiny little baby. In his hand, he's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole world. Say he's got the tiny little baby. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world. Sing children. He's got the whole world in his hands. And he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world. Oh, good children. In his hand, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole
I need to clear my throat. I need to clear my throat. Comrades, what you've just heard from Eden Corbin, Michael Richmond, Seline David are young people that will form your next APNU government. When we say our presidential candidate Aubrey Norton was on the ground from day one, in every nook and cranny, he listened to the people across this country. He heard you. And that is why in these elections, our slogan is putting you first. You call for young leadership, Aubrey put them in place. All that is left now, comrades, is September 1. You ensure you go out there and cast your vote for the APNU. Now, my DJ with me. You know the consistent talk. Some people like how the man is look. He don't smile and all. The point we keep making, comrades of Region 3, when you look around this country and you have public servants, whether it's the soldiers, the policemen, the nurses, the teachers, and they're receiving their salaries at the end of the month, and before a week and a half, their salary is done. There is nothing to smile about. When you see a government that is so corrupt that every day they claim that they're building roads for hundreds of millions of dollars, and within 2 weeks of those roads being commissioned, you see them cracking and breaking away. There is nothing to smile about. So, comrades, at our rally in Melanie, former Deputy Commissioner of Police Paul Williams made these remarks.
Why we cannot develop a build that faith in Aubrey Norton, a man who's unblemished, a man who's in nothing, no corruption, a man who has served this country with dignity, respect, integrity. What more you waiting for? What more? He knows himself. He's very tactical. And it's somebody who you can trust. Some of you say, me like how the man look, how he's getting face and all them things. You don't want face, you want heart. You want heart. You want heart. What you doing, you want heart. Wake up. Wake up. Green is the way to go. you will have to ensure that you vote APNU September 1st.
So Region 3, with those few remarks, make some noise as we welcome another one of your own. This man, for the past few weeks or months, has found himself in the interior region, just like our prime ministerial candidate, Jerita Fernandez. He has been working in Region 1 and going to all of the communities, whether riverine communities. When you call this man, he's either in Hobadiah or Hotaquai or Sacred Heart or Sake Monica or the island. If he's not in Port Kaituma or Matthews Ridge or Mabaruma, or the man may be in Big Creek. Comrades, make some noise as we welcome former Member of Parliament, Mr. Marvin Williams.
Every day you're walking and still you can't save nothing. Like the government got direct access. Ali.
Too many people sitting down. Come on. We're on watch for the nation. We are on watch for the nation. We are going to liberate this nation. It's been a long 5 years coming. But bless your hearts, my sisters. And bless your hearts, my brothers. For the change is gonna come on September 1. Leading that change is every one of us here, every voting member of our family, every friend, every foe. Voting, placing that X next to the palm to elect Aubrey, Compton, Norton, and the APNU. But we all know it's not an easy task. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. But like those who came before us, we too shall overcome. Comrades, this is a battle. This is a battle to break every chain of poverty. This is a battle to break every chain that ties us to poverty. And the tree of poverty in this country is the People's Progressive Party. And the root that they feed from is the root of corruption. That tree bears a poisonous fruit of poverty. And every one of us know how that feels. This is a battle to break every chain of fear that has been instilled in the hearts of the citizens of this country by a brutal regime who has enlisted a politicized Guyana police force to torment and to persecute people who do not like or do not support this wicked People's Progressive Party. This is a battle. This is a battle to end ethnic discrimination in this country. This is a battle to end political discrimination in this country. And everyone present here tonight has either experienced or live among people who have experienced this wicked hand of the People's Progressive Party as far as discrimination is concerned. Where is Clayton? Clayton was sought after by the police and taken to the Denhamsel police station because he refused a red shot. Clayton is here with us, and he's only one of the many victims of the wretched conduct of a few rogue members of the Guyana Police Force. Elections 2025 is about breaking the chain that ties us to suffering through high cost of living in the richest economy and the fastest growing economy in this part of the world. It's like walking on gold, but being hungry. We are going to fix this, for it cannot be that more than 50% of the population of this oil-rich nation lives on less than $5 per day. It cannot be. But our sad reality is that it is. And the Aubrey Norton-led APNU government will bring the oil money into your pockets, onto your tables, into your homes. Elections 2025 is about breaking the chains that suppress our rights and our freedoms in this country. We must shake them off. We must break the shackles and drop them like those who came before us did in the days of the plantocracy. And as my brother Dr. David Hines will say, it was a journey from plantation to nation that was led by the People's National Congress Reform and Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, whose son, Aubrey Norton, will continue that struggle. These elections are about you. These elections are about me. They're about our families. They're about our children and our grandchildren. They're about our future generations yet unborn. We must create a Guyana better than the one we met. And we can only do it if we rid this country of this wretched People's Progressive Party government. We must reclaim rights. We must reclaim our freedoms. No more Adriana Youngs. Are about breaking the chains that hobble our doctors, our nurses, our teachers, our police officers, and other members of the public service. These elections are about breaking those bonds that keep us in suffering. Our nurses live on meager wages, but they must attend to us, and they must work shifts that are inhuman. Our doctors are being placed in positions where they have meager earnings and poor resources with which to work, but they must go from whichever hospital they work to the new hospital in Diamond and give time, or else they will lose their jobs. It is rumored, it is alleged and rumored that the West Demerara Regional Hospital complex was sold to some company or individual or group of persons who are involved in the oil business. So when they come and they tell you that they build a new hospital in Kendron because they love you, they lie. It is clear that they must vacate that premises so that the people who buy it must have the unfettered enjoyment of its access and use. So they had to build another one. There's no love in that. If those allegations ring true, then there's corruption in that. But we of the APNU, led by Aubrey Norton, will put in place measures to ensure that our public servants have greater levels of disposable income in their pockets. We will ensure that our children are taken care of from birth. We will ensure that the early education programs are restored. And we have one facility in this region that was piloted by your next president in Leonora. Aubrey Norton spearheaded that early education center in Leonora. And there will be more so that our children will be safe. There will be a national schools transportation network so that our parents will be relieved of the burden, both financial and the other responsibilities associated with getting our children to school. And when they get to school, they will receive 2 hot meals every day. Our parents will not have to carry that burden. These elections are about breaking the shackles that hold our women and girls vulnerable. In the Rupununi, there's a man who's the regional executive officer who clearly didn't have his way with a young indigenous woman, shot her in the leg. No consequences. In the Rupununi, there's a now former MP from the People's Progressive Party who sexually molested a child, a boy, a member of his family, and was charged and placed before the court. No consequences. Just like the law book where Eden there. Just like the law book story Eden, they null pros the case. Gone free. There was a sitting minister who was accused of raping an indigenous girl. He rape and compensate and story done, no consequences. There was a president who claimed that he married a lady but never signed the paper. And that lady had to go and take baths at the neighbor and not in any of the bathrooms in State House. And the women of that party were silent. That will never happen. Never happen under a APNU government. We will ensure that Adriana Young's surviving relatives get justice for what happened to her. We will have policies to ensure that not another one of our girl children suffers what Adriana Young suffered. We remember the 3 preteen indigenous girls who were burnt to death in or around September 1st, 2008 in the Warramadong dormitory. There will never be an instance like that under an APNU government. We remember the 19 young women and the little boy who were burnt to death in a prison-like structure called a dormitory facility in Madia. Never again, Guyana. Never again, I say, will our girls in this country be exposed to that kind of treatment, be exposed to that kind of disaster. Never again. And I pledge to you on behalf of Aubrey Norton, who I'm sure will make the pledge himself, that he will protect our girls and women in the next government he forms after September 1. And in this battle that I speak about, our liberator who learned his politics at the feet of Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, Aubrey Norton, will be our liberator. When you look on the other side, you will see that their candidate was appointed by King Corruption. The king of corruption appointed their nominee for the presidential position. When you look on the APNU side, you will see a man who is sponsored by his people and anointed by the Most High. And I tell you tonight that there are only two contenders in elections 2025. There are other pretenders, but there are only two contenders. And the APNU shall be victorious. Side, you will see the People's Progressive Party and its addendum, its join-up partner, WIN. If you look on the other side, you will see APNU. And when you look at the APNU side, you will see a man with clean hands. Say clean hands. You will see a team behind and beside and around him with clean hands. You will see a leader who hails from the working class, who is connected to the working class, and who is connected to the grassroots mass base of the APNU, led by the People's National Congress Reform. When you look at the other side, you will see corrupt people from number 1 and 2 all down the line. You will see people who are convicted of criminal conduct. You will see people who have been sanctioned. You have senior police officer being sanctioned. You have a permanent secretary who was sanctioned. That permanent secretary was an executive member of the People's Progressive Party. You will see a councillor attached to the Neighborhood Democratic Council, the East Bank, and a businessman who was sanctioned. You will see his son who was sanctioned. And if you look outside of Guyana to Venezuela, you will see the effects of sanctions. Aubrey Norton assures all of us that Guyana will never become another Venezuela in CARICOM or South America. There is a risk, my comrades. The president of Venezuela was sanctioned after he became the president. The whole country collapsed. And we have got to deal with the migrants from Venezuela in our midst, and we understand the suffering that they have to endure. And we are good citizens of Earth, and we reach out to them. We embrace them, we empathize with them, and we offer them support because we know of their suffering. Do you want another country to embrace you because you elect people who are sanctioned and who are likely to be sanctioned in the next list, starting from number 1 and 2 and come down? The risks are high. The consequences are real and must be avoided. And only you have the silver bullet to save this country. That silver bullet is the X that you will mark on that ballot paper on the top for the national elections, next to the hand for APNU, and at the bottom ballot paper next to the hand for the APNU. It is the palm that will liberate this country. It is the palm that will restore decency to this country. It is the palm that will fix the public sector in this country. And it is the public servants who, having voted for the palm, who will help us to restore decency in the public sector. And they will receive their just rewards. More money in your pocket, more respect for your labor, more respect for your presence, more opportunities for your growth and development, more support for your children going to school, the 50-50 program, 50,000 young people getting $50,000 per month to go and study and to populate the public sector with employees of quality, employees with pride, employees whose dignity will reign supreme under Aubrey Norton's presidency. So, I have to give you a task. Come September 1, wake up early. Give praises to the Most High. Seek guidance from above. Do your chores. Be at the polling station before 6 a.m. Make sure you empty your house of every registered voter and take them with you to the polling place. Help to free our country. Help to rescue this nation. Help to bring a people-centered development strategy to reality. Help to put people first in every development endeavor pursued by Aubrey Norton and the APNU after September 1. Help to take this country to its rendezvous with prosperity. Help to give this country and every citizen in it shared prosperity for all. And I say to you tonight with confidence that the APNU shall be victorious. Onward to victory! Onward to victory with Aubrey Norton and APNU!
you. Thank you very much, Marvin. Know when Marvin speak with passion and conviction, all he hears grow long. Make some noise to Comrade Williams. Comrades, when you get your copy of the APNU's manifesto, whether electronic or a hard copy, we want you to focus on a particular page which speaks about the creative arts. And of course, under the APNU government, led by President David, led by President Aubrey Norton, you will see the emphasis being placed on the creative arts. With that being said, we'll have a musical rendition, and this is going to be done by your very own. Make some noise as we welcome Kim Yun.
Region 3! Region 3! How are we voting? I can't hear you! How are we voting? Put those palms up for me, please! And that's what I'm seeing in region number 3. On September 1, we're palming them out, right? Yeah, man! Come on, box with me, region 3! Box with me! We palming them out! Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be alright. So you don't worry, no, about a thing. Come on, region 3, bounce, because every little thing is gonna be alright. Alright, so this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds before my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melody pure and true. Saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry, no, about a thing. Come on, region 3, because every little thing is gonna be alright. Come on, singing, don't worry, no, about a thing. Put your palms up, region 3. Every little thing is gonna be alright. I rise up this morning, smile with a rising sun. 3 little birds with mama doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. Saying, this is my message to you. Region 3, yeah. Saying, don't worry, no, how to say. Come on, cause every little thing is gonna be alright. On September 1, I promise you. Saying, don't worry, no, how to say. Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Alright, so this morning, smile with a rising sun. 3 little birds with mama doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. Come on, region 3. This is about message. How we voted? Say, don't worry, drop low for me about the thing. Low, because APNU putting people first. Over here, say, don't worry about the thing. Why? Because APNU putting people first. Up top, singing, don't worry, come on, about the thing. Because APNU will give you level but salaries. Yeah. Singing, don't worry about the thing. Thank you, Region 3, September 1. You know what you gotta do, right? Every little thing is gonna be alright. Under a partnership for national unity. Put your palms up, palm them out. We're gonna be palming them out September 1. I assure you, every little thing is gonna be alright. Under the leadership of Aubrey, Compton, Norton. So don't you worry. Dreaming, which mama does that, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying this is a message to you. Richard Tree, sing it up. Come on, wave the hand like this to me. Bow the thing, come on, looking good, looking good. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Over here, sing it, don't worry. No, bow the thing. What about you in the middle? Every little thing is gonna be alright. I rise up this morning, smile with a rising sun. 3 little birds, pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melody pure and true, saying this is my message to you. My message to you is to put the palm first. Bless your hands next to the palm. Thank you very much, Region 3. We palming them out.
Thank you. Make some noise to Miss Gentle. Region 3. Then there were 2. The final 2 speakers for tonight. So coming to the podium is no stranger to us. In a country in which you have a government that is nothing more than a dictator, or we are in a dictatorship, in which young people across this country took to the streets to protest and call for justice for Adriana Young, only by the next day to see wanted bulletins being issued for them. And these young people were incarcerated, some of them being held with some ridiculous bail, $300,000 and $500,000 respectively. It is because of young men and young women, like the young person who's gonna come to the podium, we are able to provide legal representation to them. And they do it pro bono. Make some noise as we welcome Attorney at Law, Dr. Dexter Todd.
Sing whoa. Hear my plea, oh dear. A song from my life. Rose up early this morning to the sounds of crying. Another mother shedding her tears. Oh yeah. Why all the pain and suffering? Why all the senseless killing? Could it be that nobody cares? Oh no. So many sons lost in the slaughter, blood running in the streets like water. A gun in hand knows no friend. No, warmongers selling death in my land, getting rich off the souls of we children. Can you tell me when will it end? How many more must carry this load? Oh, how many trod down Zion Road.
Region 3. I can hear you, Region 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I am home. I am home. Tonight, I have come with a very important message for you. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves of how important it is to know who we are. I have said on many occasions that one of the lies that have been told to us, and this has been for years, is that we are nothing. And if words were not repeated to us to say that we were nothing, the actions of the PPPC has always demonstrated that we were nothing. And so the PPPC has created in this country, from the time that I was born, from the time that I roamed the streets of Region 3, New Road, Poudroin, Lagrange, West Coast, Perica, then Amstel, Wales, Canals 1 and 2, is that people have not really gotten the understanding that we really were the employers of the government. But it took us an a rude awakening and stand call for us, then I don't know what will wake us up. For 20-something years, these people sat in government. And I can tell you, their actions have demonstrated that power ran to their heads. So the way they deal with people in this country demonstrated clearly. You know, when we say people power drunk, that is how they became power drunk. If you think that Barrett Jack Dio did not become power drunk, look at Irfan Ali. Irfan Ali kept a meeting with contractors 5:30 in the morning, locked the gates of State House, shouted and bawled and screamed on big men, and to ensure that they became subdued. And when he believed that they were then submissive, he called them all sorts of names. He told them to shut up and sit down. You and I witnessed that. And if that is not a wake-up call, that these people power really got to their head right now. Power, you know, power. That they have turned to treat our citizens in this country like a nothing. Then I don't know what will wake us up. We have an attorney general who stands as the principal legal advisor for the government. Witness daily the amount of police excesses in this country. Listened and watched the violations
of citizens of this country on a daily basis and has said nothing publicly. When we see that there has, and I want to say to you, we have always heard of extrajudicial killings, and we have seen its ugly head returning from the year 2020 right up to this year 2025 in this country. When we go all the way over to Essekrebo, and we are reminded of Orrin Boston. Orrin Boston was in his home. Orrin Boston was in his bed. Orrin Boston was sleeping with his wife. The police, without a warrant, kicked down that door, entered his house, shot him, and then turn around to say and give a report that the man fired on the police and the police returned fire. I want to say to you, it was the collective support of citizens in this country that came out and demonstrated that this type of police excesses, clearly this type of murder, will not be tolerated. It was then that the police recognized that they cannot move away from the truth, and then they return to charging a policeman for shooting Orrin Boston. I take you to the East Coast, and I remind you of Quinton Bacchus. That young man was in a yard. The police shot him in an attempt. That is what they claim. They wanted to arrest him. They shot him. Do you recall what the police said that he did? The police said that he shot at the police, fired shot at the police, and the police returned fire, resulting in his death. What a blatant lie it was. Again, the citizens came out in demonstration, demonstrated that this type of police excesses will not be encouraged. It was only then that they acted. The point I am making to you, and I'm not even coming to Adriana Young, because I will come to that in a few. The point I am making to you is that after all these years, we have got to keep fighting for every single thing in this country. It is like there is no respect for life and no value for life in this country. And that must not continue. The PPPC sees nothing wrong with killing people. They have demonstrated that. They only act when they recognize that people come out and protest and it makes them look bad. It is only then that they act. But they believe the lies of the police. If they were not in support of the violations of the citizens' rights in this country, they would have ensured, as the government responsible for policies, they would have ensured that the police follow the law. And all they have to do is to ensure that if you want to effect an arrest on someone, get a warrant from the court. But they don't want to go to the court, because the people who are affected are ordinary people like you and I. They're not running into Prado Vales. They're not running to their friends, families, and favorites. They know who they want to run to, but they run to us, violate our rights on a daily basis, and they say nothing. Now, for years, you all know about commissioners of police. And you know that every time there is some form of tragedy or murder in this country, and once it raises national outcry, there has always been a press conference or some address by the commissioner of police. For the years, Hickins has said nothing. 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 The crime chief, if you don't corner him in some form at some function and your media ask him a question, he does not come out and say nothing. That must tell you and I something. That must tell us clearly that the PPPC is a government that is not concerned about its people. Look at Adriana Young. You want to read the postmortem report. Ali comes and reads the postmortem report. You want to read and pronounce about the report given by the Canadian foreign investigator. Ali comes out and talk about it. You want to get the family removed from Doubleday in front of Doubleday Hotel. Ali comes himself. Where is the police? It's because of the fact they have people to protect. They have people to protect. But we say to you, and we say to you with no water in our mouth, government of this country, every single murder, every single murder that was not properly investigated will be investigated. Mothers in this country will not cry anymore without justice. Fathers in this country will not cry anymore without justice. Your communities will not cry anymore wanting for justice, because it will change. It will change. It will change. Corruption has rippled the fabric of our society. In every single corner, there has been corruption. You cannot turn a blind eye and say, well, it doesn't concern me. Because every time there is corruption, there is a financial implication to corruption. It means that you and I are robbed legitimately of benefits that we should be having in this country. So it affects you. It affects your children. It affects your loved ones. And so you cannot turn a blind eye to the level of corruption that we see. We have said it and you know it. In every single project under the PPPC, you can look at it, you can examine it, and there is no value for money. No value for money. Every single project there has been a number of wastage. Not only a number of wastage, there has been a number of thieving in those projects. I say to you, those who think that they're getting the little contracts, don't think I don't know about this story. Many of you have to pay a long line of persons who help you to get a $2 million contract. By the time you finish the $2 million contract, if you got $200,000 or $300,000 in your pocket, you got plenty. They got many contractors in Region 3 who are way more qualified than the Guyanese critic. Critic has never built one thing in his life. And you know, he got reward. He got rewarded. You who know about contract in this region, you get little or nothing. Critic who follows the narrative of the PPPC walks away with over $800 and something million in contract. And I want to tell you, that is not $800 and something million Barra Jack Dio money. That is not $800 and something million Afon Ali money. That is $800 and something taxpayers' money. He walks away with it and has not produced the project for that money until now. Corruption. Corruption. You mean to tell me, if you had a president in the name of Ali, Afon Ali, until now, all of us who go from Region 3, raise your hand. We born and grow in this region. Have we ever seen a University of Iflot over here? Have you ever seen? No. If the man can lie about his own university and embarrass us as Region 3 people. Listen, in this oil-rich country, this is how you have a government that don't even care. You think they don't recognize that the traffic is a disaster to come over that bridge? But I want you to look at the Seline. They did nothing, absolutely nothing to improve transportation so that you can get to Georgetown and back. They allowed us to punish on that same road that everybody going. And let me tell you, you're leaving 6 o'clock, it's still too late. You're getting up 5:30, it's still too late. You can't even move in peace. You're coming over back in the evening, it's problems. They don't care. And when you see that bridge is completed, it's more confusion. More confusion. But they don't care. Many of you know the road in Schoonard. How many of you are proud of that road? And I can give you the amount. I can give you the amount because it's in billions of taxpayers' money that build that road, that same road at Schoonard. What kind of road is that? No value for money. But this is their way to thief. By doing projects, even though they're being done in a substandard manner, doing projects in all across this country that you can't be proud of. I say to you, there is nothing like a free country. Don't let people fool you. There's nothing like a free country. Every single thing that happens, there is a cost to it. So even where they allow the bridge, the Demawara Harbor Bridge to be free, is it really free? Taxpayers and still got to pay? How is it going to be maintained? How are you going to pay the staff? Taxpayers' money still got, so you're still paying. So don't allow them to come and fool you as though they come up with some bright idea that they care about you. They don't. Region 3 has remained. Don't bother with those little, what you see on the West Coast, those little play part for children that, and you see, they created, man, listen, somebody said it, nonsense. Nonsense. Because those are not the main problems in this region. Those are not the main problems, but they fail. You see, the thing about it, they like to give you a lot of parties and have entertainment. That is their mentality. They think once you get entertainment and parties, you're going to forget about the real issues. But tell them you're big, but you ain't stupid. Tell them Region 3, you ain't stupid. And when it comes September 1st, you know where you're putting your ex. You're putting your ex in a government that cares. And the government that cares is APNU. If Irfan Ali was not a supporter of corruption, when he received the text from Mohammed about tax evasions, he would have tell him plain and straight, no. But he said no. He said no. He helped his friends, and he got a reason for helping his friends. Because when he was elected president, when I used to say, let me correct that word, he wasn't elected no president. I said it got in power with a fluke. A fluke got him in power. Vehicle use Mohammed. So it's payback for that he doing, man. But that is just to tell you the mentality of Irfan Ali. That because somebody help you and put you in the fancy vehicle, the armored vehicle, so you can drive up and down with your siren up and down the place, you will break the law for them. You don't want a president like that. You don't want a president like that. Because when you have a president like that that encourages things like that, I want to say that while one person or family may benefit, thousands of persons are left at a disadvantage when there is corruption. So I want to say to you, don't bother with this nonsense. Irfan said, produce your record. Mohammed said, you talk, I can show. And they got us all in a toy. This body waiting for that body to talk. The other person waiting for the other person to talk before they release records. But Guyanese, we are not stupid. We know clearly that the president encouraged a citizen of this country to break the law. I want to say to you, in any country where there is a rule of law, respect for the rule of law, you have order. You want to know the evidence of that? You turn around and ask your friends, how did you feel after 2015? You felt safe under the APNU. You felt safe. Police were respecting the law. They were respecting the rights of citizens. You could have walked the streets. You could have smiled without having fear. Not since 2020. When 2020 came in, soon as you talk, you get locked up. Soon as you express a view, you get locked up. Which government is going to be proud that when people bust social media, they're seeing over 40, 50, 60 of its young people, black young men, being labeled as terrorists? All across the region, the Caribbean region, people are laughing us. They're calling, while we call ourselves the fastest growing economy of the world, they are also putting next to it, we got more terrorists in our country, more than any other of the sister countries of the Caribbean. And that is what was created under the PPPC. You heard us call it out. Our leader, Aubrey Norton, called it out. And he called it out as a clear violation of the law, because he said that there are appropriate laws which can deal with those persons. No, but they want to go to the extreme. They wanted to go to the extreme to establish one thing, and that is to drive fear in you. Because when you see people are being charged with such a serious crime as that of terrorism, you ain't coming out on the road. So they are sending a message clear to you. I will do you what I want to do you, and you must shut your mouth. Because if you come out on the streets and demonstrate for your rights, I will lock you up. That is what they're telling you. And I'm telling you, come September 1, we will demonstrate to them that the Guyanese people, we have rights, we have constitutional rights, we are obligated under the Constitution to respect our rights, and we will express that view in the ballot, because comes we voting 2 times for APNU. We voting 1 time at the top. We putting the X at the palm. Then we coming down to the bottom and we putting another X to the palm. And we are demonstrating to the PPPC, we have had enough of your damn stupidness. We have had enough of your damn stupidness. This country, which has always been known as the breadbasket of the Caribbean, will return to its former glory under the APNU, under the leadership of Aubrey Norton. I want you to make noise. It will return to a glorious state. We will walk with our heads high. We will walk proud in the region. We will walk proud in the country. We will be proud of being Guyanese. No longer you got to walk around shame, embarrassed of your president, can't pronounce words. And to know a big man, even if the man found a university, establish a university over here, even if we want to give the man kudos, you mean the university couldn't tell you how to pronounce the word reparation? And to know you left till the university and come but repa, shut your mouth. Repa, shut your mouth. We are no longer going to have to laugh our president. And I know many of you laugh. But come September 1, after the elections, the only thing you will do, the only thing we will do as Guyanese is to clap our hands in cheer. Because finally, we get a competent man to be president of this country in the name of Aubrey Norton. So when you tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your boyfriend, tell your sweet man, tell everybody, come September 1, we voting like a boss, and we voting for APNU, and our next president will be Aubrey Norton, because for Guyana to grow, the PPP must go.
So, I see them lying there wait. Standing at the gate. But yeah, I want my hand and I sing. You sing, Lord. Murderer, load is on your shoulder. Kill.
Mercy, mercy. Region 3, make some noise! Listen. When you say Aubrey Norton got all of them that are right here. Comrades, we are at that point of our program. When you will hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak, September 1 will present that opportunity for you to make an amends, to you to put this country on a proper course. The man of the hour, the person to take us to that place, the man who is competent enough to take us there, the man who will increase salaries for public servants, the man who can protect the citizens of this country. Make some noise as we welcome the next president of Guyana, Aubrey Norton.
That is the greatest. Lord, I'm going to count your blessings, yeah. Well, today is a new day. Give thanks to Lord. All praises to the Lord. Me see if I'm sanctified. Nah, make stress me. Me a whole a vibe. With red boom teacher and moon in my bonafide. And the Lord is around us. With blessings surround us. They don't care who like me. Make us a go show love. And the Lord is around us. With blessings surround us. They don't care who like me. Make us a go show love.
Region 3. Region 3. Good evening. I believe that we are facing the most consequential elections in the history of Guyana. These elections are critical because of where we are today. Today, we are a nation in which there is no law and order. We're in a nation in which once people have wealth, they can violate the law. Once people have links to political power, they violate the law. And then their leaders, the likes of Barra Jack Dew, the forerunner of lawlessness, tries to tell you we are going to change the situation. We know that no leopard changes its spots. We know that if you're accustomed to thieving and you do it over a period, you will become a pathological thief. We know that we live in an era in which the small man gets no justice. We live in a society in which if you have to access resources, you have to have a close relationship with the PPP and don their red jersey. We know many of you are donning those t-shirts because you need the contracts, because you need the money. But I say to you as leader of the APNU, that when we come to power, you will get it based on merit. I have heard those who say, I do not smile. My task is not to smile, it's to make you smile. That is my task. My task is to deliver quality service to the people of Guyana so that the people can smile. What sense is there? What sense is there in a smiling president and a punishing citizenry? There is none. And so
We don't set out to appear as if everything is fine when we know it isn't. We want to face reality. Today, we launched our manifesto, and interwoven into the fabric of that manifesto is a commitment to eradicate poverty from this country. The biggest problem that faces us today is poverty. Regardless of race, poverty is the big problem. And we're saying to you, we are outlining a number of measures that will ensure you come out of poverty. We have said to you, we're going to give you a livable income. And that is because we don't want you to exist, we want you to live. We have said to you, we will give your children 2 nutritious meals. The implications of that are: 1, the child will get a meal; 2, they will get the nutrition they need; and 3, they will be able to attend and stay in school. Some there are who say, no, we don't need education, we need money. I want to remind them, a fool and his money will soon part. We want to give you the education. We want to give you the education that allows you to emancipate yourselves. We want to give every Guyanese a quality education. We want to see children in the hinterland do as well as children on the coast. And you might ask, why education is important? Education is important to ensure that we all can progress. Education is important so that bald-head rat doesn't have to describe people as scrapes. Education is important because any country that is developing needs a competent workforce. And it is education and training that will give you the skills to have a competent workforce. The strategy of this government is clear. They want to ensure you have enough not to die, but not enough to live. And when they do that, what they do is create a circle of poverty. And once people are locked into poverty, they believe they can control them and determine what they do. But you know, they fool themselves. They fetch the 10-day workers, everyday workers, every time Dick and Harry Lal, and pack up a square and call it a rally. They are only rallying their stupidity. Because many of the people they are fetching around are saying to us, we will vote APNU. We believe that it is important that we create small businesses and put our young people in business. We're going to train young people regardless of race in financial literacy and small business management. And then we will give them the resources for them to develop businesses. You know, the PPP is so narrow-sighted.
narrow-minded, that they cannot understand that the more people we have in small businesses generating wealth will expand the economy. We promise you to put you in business so that our economy can expand. And then I heard Susu saying we cannot finance the programs we are offering. Don't be fooled. It is estimated that they steal about $600 billion a year between the corruption and waste. That money can pay public servants the 200,000 we're talking about. Whenever they say we can't finance it, tell them that once we save that 600 billion, we can give every municipality adequate money to run the towns. So the issue is not an absence of funds to finance these programs. The issue is the government lacks the political will to do it. Because to do it, it will reduce the money they make on corruption. I noticed, those of you who saw the interview with Junior Bash, you know what was most striking to me about the interview? I heard all the things that went on. What is most striking is the concentration of wealth in the hands of a few. Man, I lend the man 700 billion or 700 million. And when the man is attacking, you know, like where you pick up sand and you just throw it on your little friend. And mind you, my problem is not people having wealth. People must have wealth. But when wealth concentrates in the hands of a few and poverty concentrates in the majority, that is a recipe for disaster. As a government, our intention is to reduce poverty. Our intention is to ensure more people share in the wealth of Guyana. That is our intention. I heard last night the commissioner of police was out here telling people where to put the stage and where not to put the stage. Mr. Commissioner of Police, your work is to know that your commander is allegedly involved in drug trafficking in Region 1. Don't come out here. Don't come out here harassing people when they're carrying out their functions in keeping with the Constitution. The Constitution provides for and assemble freely. And so we would expect for the short time you will be there that you will pay attention to the job you are paid to do. I want to turn to the Adriana Young case. A lot of people are affected adversely by it, but we need to analyze it. That case brought out a number of important things that we should note. One, that the police was well prepared to arrest and incarcerate people who had nothing to do with the crime. Now you might see it as one event, but multiply it. It speaks to the fact that this Guyana police force will know who committed a crime, but incarcerate a wrong person so that they could protect the criminals. That is the first lesson we must learn. And I want to speak to the policemen in this country. You are very powerful people. You wield power. but don't misuse it. Every time you put somebody in prison who is innocent, you erode the credibility of the Guyana police force. And so we want you to find criminals, not fabricate them. Because you can take any child in this country and put them in prison, but the child hasn't committed a crime. You have probably destroyed one of our leaders. And so I want to urge the police from top to bottom, fight crime properly, and stop incarcerating people wrongfully. There's another lesson to be learned from the Adriana Young case. And the lesson is this: that the police itself can fabricate a story that the child left in some red car. It sounds simple, but it is ominous. It is terrifying. What that means is this: one of your relatives could be killed, and they go to the police because they have the resources, and they redirect you away from the criminals. And so again, the integrity of the police force is in question. You know, when I saw them arrest all kind of people for terrorism, I thought if they really wanted to arrest people for terrorism, they would have gone straight to Jack Deo and Irfan Ali. What is terrorism? What is terrorism? Terrorism is defined in law as the use of political violence, military violence, to achieve political objectives. When the PPP uses the police force against the likes of Cromie Wing, what in fact they did, they have committed a terrorist act because they are using violence to achieve political objective. How on earth people burning on the road? How on earth people looting? And we're not supporting looting. We condemn looting. But you cannot charge people for terrorism for looting. In fact, if robbery as a charge was instituted in keeping in law, we would not have had to be fighting with Barrett and Irfan today. Every time they steal money from this country, they deprive you of drugs in the hospitals. Every time through corruption they steal money, they deprive your children of proper education. Every time they steal money, they deprive the police force, the Guyana Defense Force, of the equipment they need to serve and protect us. And so in large measure, the biggest terrorist in this country is the government of Guyana. We say to you, we need a country that is governed by law. We want every citizen out there to believe and to know that those who commit crimes will pay for it, and the innocent should not have to worry. I heard that they plan locking up particularly young African Guyanese men on the weekend before elections. We must be on the alert, and we must ensure it never happens. The police cannot act against us if we are there dealing with them in our numbers. This government is a come up with any reason. You know, had we as a political party not been vigilant, the PPP would have passed a lot of proxy votes, but we were vigilant. And so those people will be allowed to vote for themselves and not by PPP proxy. Every time you turn in this country, you see a signboard that says, "We delivered." They claim to have delivered 50,000 jobs, but the people didn't feel it, the people didn't see it. They claim that they delivered 12 hospitals without doctors, without nurses, without equipment, and without drugs. This government has something that characterizes it: its inability to complete programs on time. From the time they came to government in 2020, they met us with a plan for the gas to energy project to give us cheap electricity. They shifted from where we had it on the East Coast and politically put it at Wales because they want to appear to be doing something. It was to finish in 2022. It moved to 2023. It moved to 2024. It moved to 2025. Now they saying 2026. Thank God they will not be there then. So even the projects they would have inherited from us, they show a lack of ability, the lack of competence to implement. Well, over here, y'all know it. The Demerara Bridge finishing since Noah was a little boy, and the one to the edge of the hill keep telling us that it will be finished by the 31st of August. Only an idiot who crossed there, watched that bridge, would not have known that it could not be finished the 31st. Which means, if an idiot would know, he who doesn't know is less than an idiot. Allah Wanejil. My friends, you have a government that is clearly incompetent. It can get nothing done. They came and they met us in 2020, cleaning drains, ensuring that the place is clean and water will flow. They are allocating more money to drainage and irrigation, and the water ain't draining and going nowhere. Again, it is corruption. Corruption is killing this country. And that is why we say that if Guyana is to grow, the PPP must go. We do not say this thing lightly. We say it because it is a reflection of reality. You know, I want to run a tradition of the PPP for you. When the PPP came to power in 1992, Guyana was not cited as a country that is a narco-trafficking center. In fact, the Undersecretary of State in 1992 November, this is the US Undersecretary of State, the 6th of October. You know, by Good Friday 1993, Monica Reese was thrown out to the back of a vehicle and the whole slew of cases of unsolved murders began. The PPP has made a hallmark of their administration unsolved murders. And then came the coalition government. And we trained people in forensic science, we trained people to investigate, and we began to solve the crimes that emerged under the People's Progressive Party. And then they returned to power in 2020. And again, we return to unsolved crimes. Dr. Todd outlined them to you, so I don't need to go it again. But what we need to note is that the People's Progressive Party, because of its links to the criminal underworld, it cannot solve crimes. A vote for the PPP is a vote for the continuation of the cover-up of crimes. A vote for the PPP is a vote for injustice. A vote for the PPP is a vote to wrongfully incarcerate young people. We do not hate any political party or any person. We, however, hate the things they do. And the PPP is doing wrong to this country. We offer ourselves as an alternative because we will put people first. And we don't speak about putting people first lightly. We genuinely believe that this country can only progress if we put people first. Making a few people comfortable will not make a nation successful. Today in our manifesto, we pointed out that we intend to develop the non-oil sector. Do not be carried away. Do not be carried away by all the talk about oil wealth. Oil will come to an end. That's a reality. And therefore, we are useful if we can take those oil resources and develop the non-oil sector. And we said to you, we will put resources into agriculture, into agro-processing, so we can develop a strong non-oil sector that can make us resilient for years to come. The PPP cannot, they will not have a robust agricultural program. They got too many ministers that smuggle chicken. They got too many ministers smuggling everything. And so it is in their interest to have those goods come. This government, under the present agriculture minister, if he can be so called, has killed the chicken industry. They came to power and met a thriving chicken industry. But today, every chicken farmer is complaining because at the border with Brazil, government officials ensure that smuggled chicken can come and challenge the prices of local chicken, consequently killing Guyanese chicken farmers. We must understand, we had a thriving cattle industry in the Rupununi. They killed that. They killed that. And the cronies now bring beef from Brazil. How could they claim to have the interests of the people of Guyana at heart? They do not. I turn to the rice sector. They go on as if they are lovers of people in rice. Oh, and our support base is in rice. Well, you have destroyed the rice industry. You do not even have a proper plan to ensure that the lands get the nutrition they need. You do not have a proper plan to ensure you improve the paddy you will utilize. You do not have a proper plan for the storage of the paddy. Y'all would have seen on Facebook rice farmers in the Essequibo dumping the paddy because of the incompetence of this government. You imagine a proper government maintaining an agriculture minister for 5 years, that minister having destroyed the rice industry. And you know, they have the audacity, the temerity, the bold-facedness to put on a board what's it they call it? Promise delivered, 4,000 sugar workers employed. That is not what they promise. They promise that they will revitalize the sugar industry and make it economically viable. They have failed. Everything they touch would have failed. You remember the lofty promise. I always remember Barrett followed by Donald Ramatar. Oh, with the fiber optic cable, there will be internet connectivity across Guyana. They'll waste billions of dollars and there is no fiber optic cable. When they're talking about competence, we must let them know these things. I heard Barrett Jack, they were saying Norton or Finance don't have the experience to run a country. Well, with his experience, he ran this country into the ground. We don't want the experience he has. His experience is corruption. His experience is incompetence. His experience is divisiveness. We don't need any of that. We bring to you a core of young people, professionals, grassroots people that has the ability to govern this country. It doesn't take much to govern Guyana better than the PPP. The PPP has failed us. The PPP has enriched its families, its friends, and its favorites. And not only that, even in their strongholds, when you go, people complain that only a few from around the PPP are benefiting and the rest have got to punish. What Jack Day and their fans should know is that they will silently vote them out of office. And they are not going to vote them out because they hate them or they don't like them. They will vote them out because they didn't deliver and the people are punishing. That is the reality. That is the reality. And so, my friends, we have no choice but to put our X next to the palm. The APNU, when you see our manifesto, you will see a clear pathway to a better life for all Guyanese. And that is what we set out to do. Our aim is not to enrich ourselves. Our aim is to serve people. And every time Barrett speaks about my lack of experience, I have to remind him this. I've been in politics over 50 years. And in those 50 years, I have manifested integrity. In those 50 years, I have shown that you can be in government, have access to resources, and serve the people and not yourself. And so when he speaks about competence, he is wasting our time. We at this juncture in our history have to take things in our own hands. When you vote on September 1st, you are voting to return honesty to this country. You are voting to return decency to this country. You are voting for yourself. We said to you, the plans we have created will serve you. It is not by accident that we developed 3 approaches to housing outside of house lots. We said our first approach will be to build houses for the people of Guyana, allow them to pay for it and own it. We have to end this nonsense of giving somebody a house lot and leave them on their own. A house lot makes sense to people who have the resources to build a house. It doesn't for those who don't, and many people don't. And that is why we say we will deliver to you a rent-to-own housing scheme program. The next thing we said is that we will give assistance, what we call rent assistance. We are well aware of the level of poverty in this country. We are well aware that young people coming from out of the coast to work in Guyana, in Georgetown and on the coast, find it difficult to pay rent. And so we have said that we will have a rent assistance program to help those who need help with their rent. At the same time, we build houses. We have also said that there will be a mortgage assistance program. A lot of people don't have the resources to go to a bank to get a mortgage. And we believe that if we are serving the people of Guyana, there must be a proper mortgage assistance program to ensure that people can own their own homes. We believe ownership of a home is important in the development of a people. And so when we say we have a people-centered development strategy, what we mean is that we are going to take the resources from oil and ensure it is allocated in this society so a vast majority of the people can benefit. That is what we set out to do. I want you to note the difference between a PPP meeting and our meeting. In a PPP meeting, they cuss out. They talk about 28 years, all kind of nonsense. They never ever outline proper plans for the country. And I want to say this to all the people, they're running around offering this and offering that. It is not the first time they're doing it. They did it in every elections, but after the elections, they pay no attention to you until election come again. We should end that. We are in a society that has the ability to be great. The problem is the present government does not allocate the resources in a way that the people will benefit. We promise you, we reassure you that our budgets will allocate resources so that you and your children can develop and enjoy a quality life. That's what we promise you. We promise you to put the resources of this country in your hands. Our aim is not to enrich ourselves. And I reassure you that we will do everything to rid this society of corruption. And we know we can, because between 2015 and 2020, policemen were behaving decent and within the confines of the law. It is the return of these jagabats that put us here. Let us vow to end the lawlessness. Let us vow to put the people of Guyana first. Let us vow to ensure that Guyana is an honest, law-abiding citizen. An honest, law-abiding country. I saw Irfan Ali talking, but they're best suited to deal with the Guyana-Venezuela territorial controversy. The man But for those 28 years, we developed the legal corpus to protect us from Venezuela. And over that period, we had the support of CARICOM, Latin America, Africa, you name it. I had to remind the University of IFLOT graduate that there are 54 countries in Africa that he should be talking to get support. Let me remind this dimwit. You know what's a dimwit? If you know, Google it. But let me remind this dimwit that when they came to government, we had the total solidarity of the Caribbean. They lost parts of it. What nonsense is he speaking? In fact, I do not believe he has the capacity to speak to a leader and influence the leader. At least 3 times he can mispronounce the words. So, don't tell us nonsense that you are the best person to protect Guyana against Venezuela. You aren't. In fact, on the Guyana-Venezuela territorial controversy, you have been a failure. I advised him in his office. That we need a permanent education program to keep the Guyanese informed. He told me, yes, he was going to do it. He called Gordon Mosley and a number of people. Till now, nothing happened. How on earth could he suggest he could protect us from Venezuela? My friends, we have to go beyond the rhetoric. We have to ensure we have clear policies and programs to ensure this country progresses. And I say to you, there is only one political party in this race that has the policies and programs to deliver Guyana from this evil. That party is the APNU. I am about to make some statements which I want the government to hear. You are not going to be allowed to rig these elections. I want to say this to you. Our agents must scrutinize the process and ensure that nothing illegal happens. And may I say this to you, we are prepared to behave bad if legalities occur. We have had 5 years of your domination. We have had 5 years of your barefacedness. We have had 5 years of your contempt for ordinary people. We say enough is enough. I want to remind Guyanese that many people call for us to have street protests, and I said no. And the reason I said no was because, from my analysis, what the PPP was looking for was a clash between Africans and Indians. And I believe it will be an error. It would have been an error to do that. I believe all Guyanese are prepared to live together. I believe that all Guyanese know there is a need to live together. And I want to urge all, you must not allow anyone to do things that will bring ethnic problems in this country. But in the same breath, I warn this government, any attempt to rig the elections will have serious consequences. I think it was Dave Martin who said we are a peaceful people. We ain't looking for trouble. I repeat that. We are a peaceful people. We're not looking for trouble. But if trouble come our way, we ain't going back down. You know, I said to a journalist who asked me what plan I have to deal with the ethnic problems in Guyana. And I told him, I said, you know, the ethnic problems emerge at election time, which could be managed. But the real problem is one. The resources in this society is not being divided equally. And I promise that all ethnic groups will benefit from an APNU government. I said to that said journalist that our geography sometimes creates problems because on many occasions we live separately, and that everything should be done to ensure we can build villages, communities that are multi-ethnic as we move forward. We have got to recognize that though we come from historically different backgrounds, we are all human beings. We have got to recognize that there is no need for conflict between ethnic groups. And if there is a government that will treat people equally, we will not go down the road of divisiveness that this government is going down. And so I want to urge all our supporters. You know, I refuse to sign the code of conduct by the ethnic relations confusion. I said then, we will live by the rules, but we are not signing because the Ethnic Relations Commission, rather than promoting ethnic harmony, promotes government domination, and we oppose to that. A PPP man, a PPP person could go online and write all kinds of lawlessness, and the Ethnic Relations Commission gets dumb. I talk in the local government election about who could get blown. They send me a letter and I tell them, go to hell. If you hope to contribute to ethnic unity in this country, you have to be fair. When a society arrives at the point where discrimination is obvious, that society is in trouble. I promise you here this evening that we will get rid, reduce, and ultimately get rid of ethnic discrimination. Guyana cannot progress if it is a society divided. I urge you on September 1st, come out and put your X next to the palm. Remember, you're voting twice. The first X at the top, general elections. The one at the bottom, regional elections. Let's come out. Bring out all and sundry early September 1st and let us palm the PPP out of government. I wish you a safe journey home and to say to you, victory is nigh. Let's keep focused and continue the struggle. Good evening.
No people come to Jamaica and no know how we live things. Say everything nice too, we full of vibes and things. Them same one feel it to them heart when them get few understand the real thing. Yeah.